Hastings' first hotel was built in 1874 and was called the Railway Hotel due to its proximity to the railway line in Station Street. When fire destroyed the wooden hotel in 1906, a 5-story, 100-room building called the Grand Hotel was planned as its replacement. Such was the confidence in the safety of the Grand Hotel that the Hastings Standard proclaimed anyone sleeping there could remain in their bed forever and never be frightened of being burnt out. No mention, however, was made of the effects of an earthquake. The Grand Hotel was apparently built against engineering advice, and the limestone mortar used to cement its 700,000 bricks would badly disintegrate over time. The heavy, decorated front facade was also insecurely attached to the building. Builder Patrick Gleeson regularly sacked all his bricklayers and recruited men from Australia after he ran out of local replacements. All of these factors meant an accident was waiting to happen, and it did, at 10:47 a.m. on February the 3rd, 1931. When the waves of the 7.8 magnitude earthquake arrived in Hastings, the Grand Hotel's facade immediately separated itself from the building and collapsed onto Heratona Street. Thousands of bricks also crashed to the ground, killing Charles Drummond and Ray Graham, who ran onto the street from their business premises. Proprietor Jack Ross, who leased the hotel, was in the cellar stocktaking and was trapped by the fallen debris. Also inside the building were his daughters, Leela and Velma, and son-in-law Cuthbert. They all miraculously scrambled to safety after Cuthbert forced open a jammed door. Reg Honor, a barman from a nearby hotel, was on the 3rd floor talking to a Grand Hotel barman when the quake occurred. Reg's attempt to light a cigarette with a new device called a cigarette lighter was interrupted when he slid down the wreckage with the barman. Both found themselves trapped in darkness on the ground floor. Reg, clutching the lighter, attempted unsuccessfully to switch it on to provide light. When Reg and the barman were rescued, he vowed never to use a lighter again, which he didn't. Jack Ross had communicated he was alive to a rescue party, and a brick brigade soon formed to remove the debris that had trapped him. Sailors from the HMS Veronica and Maori from outlying Pa joined the rescue effort later that afternoon. Attempts to save Jack Ross and others continued, while aftershocks of at least 3.8 in magnitude occurred on average every 5 minutes. As the aftershocks were shallow in depth, they continued to cause damage. Maori did not appear to be frightened by the constant shaking of the earth, unlike their Pakeha neighbours. This led to some town gossip that Maori had a natural immunity to the fear of earthquakes. Attempts to release Jack Ross continued until 8:41 p.m, when a shallow magnitude 5.8 aftershock reignited a fire in a nearby building. This aftershock also shut off the mains water supply when the pipes over the Havelock North Bridge broke. Firemen watched hopelessly as the fire spread to the Grand Hotel and beyond. Flames soared high into the night sky and provided a spectacular yet tragic glow for the bewildered and frightened people of Hastings. The next day, firemen, with a partially restored water supply, doused embers while men searched the ruins of the Grand Hotel for Jack Ross's body. Jack's remains were found later that day, recognizable only by his keychain around a piece of bone. An employee, Annie Goodall, and another body were found later that week in the ruins. With no hotel left and without any insurance, Jack's company, the Grand Hotel Limited, went into liquidation on the 14th of March, 1931. Jack's widow Annie, together with her daughters Leela, Velma and Elaine and son-in-law Cuthbert, later moved to Waipukurau in 1932, where they took up the lease of the Tavistock Hotel. Within weeks of the quake, new licensee Tom Bennett had erected temporary premises for the purpose of a bar in front of the Grand Hotel's ruins, which made for a strange sight. This building remained until 1933, when a new Grand Hotel was built. Suffering from a lack of funds, the owners could only afford a steel-reinforced concrete 2-storied building. In 2007, the Grand Hotel serves as a backpackers' lodge. The site of much drama in 1931 now sits quietly and mostly unnoticed by its residents and visitors.